Hello fellas, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. Today's video is a thank you video. Recently Andy Mack, who's got a channel on YouTube if you'd like to go and check him out, sent me these. Now this is a Langton starter set. It's called the British Light Squadron and it's got 3 ships in it. It's a Razid 64, which is a cut down ship, a heavy frigate and a light 5th rate with what we call easy sails, which is more or less the lower sail furled up. I can't thank you enough, Andy. Really, I wasn't expecting it, so sometimes obviously parcels are coming in the post, different supplies and whatever, and it just bowled me over because I was just not expecting it. And as I said to you, I can't thank you enough. But I wanted to just say so publicly, and even if it does embarrass you, because you're not the type of guy that likes that type of praise, but I can't thank you enough, mate. So it just shows, out there, you get a lot of people flogging stuff on eBay, supposedly, through the hobby, for freebies and all that type of stuff, which is fair enough if that's what floats your boat. But there's also just a lot of people out there just doing real good for other people, if that makes sense. Just giving people a lift, giving people a leg up. And, it's these people that really need a round of applause. So thanks a lot, Andy Mack. Andy, I really appreciate it. I'll just have a quick brief look at, give the folks an idea of what's in a Langton starter set. We'll go down here first. You'll get a pack of printed ensigns, so the flags. This is blue. I know it's hard to see through the packaging, but these are the blue, which means it's a junior admiral that's running this little squadron. You get blue, red and white in the Royal Navy, white being the senior, red being the middling and blue being the junior. You'll get a pack of resin bases, which are fairly just quite smooth textured. If you do want to make them rougher, I've tried before putting a bit of green stuff on them. If you want to make them look as if the sea's a bit more rough, but usually I'm quite happy with the way they are. Brass rat lines, again you snip them out, spray them up first with something like an auto primer, and paint them in situ and then just unclip them. Be careful. I bet you I can't really. I'm going to struggle showing you these. This is a bit off the hoof. Or off the cuff, whatever you want to call it. You see those extra bars where it says rat lines. You'll see 2 or 3 extra, like bars of brass. Hold on to those when you're cutting them, because they can give you an actual. If they don't exactly fit, by leaving those on, they'll extend your rat lines up. If that makes sense. It will do if you try it, and then if it's too much, you just snip them off. But keep them on till you've actually know 100% that they'll your rat line will fit where you want it to go. This is roughly what you'll get in a pack. So they are really easy. As you can see, the hull right up in the top corner there, a little stern gallery. You put that on the back. Minimal cleanup involved. They just scalpel. You don't need a file usually, just a scalpel, just do a very, very tiny mould line here and there. Stick that on the back with some super glue, well, that's what I use anyway, and a bit of green stuff, or actually Vallejo plastic putty I actually use. It's more of a liquid filler. It's just a bit smoother, it goes on a bit smoother when you wet the paintbrush. So yeah guys, that's so you get the 3 ships. I'll give you a quick squiz at what the white masts and sails look like. Again, it's a bit hard to see through the packaging. You can get brass ones. If you're buying the starter sets, I don't know if they actually, give you the option. But I've put my little fleet out in review here, and I'll show you some brass sails in a minute. So let's see if this is actually going to work. By the way, the paintbrush there is just for a bit of scale. You say 1 in 1200 to people, and they're not always 100% sure. Now this base on this little cutter here, this is the hired cutter Sandwich, and she'll have a Royal Navy lieutenant usually commanding her, and a civilian crew. Usually the master of the boat, when it was, or the ship I should say, when it was taken over by the Navy, stayed on. He became second in command, and it just normally had just one lieutenant on board. That's a little cutter, and that's on a metal base. And that's the hide cutter Sandwich, by the way. Here we have the frigate Cambrian. Again, Royal Navy. Let's see if we can get over the top slightly. There we have the third-rate 74-gun HMS Ripon. Now these were all done with the paintbrush method. Then climbing over the top, as you can see by the bits of string everywhere. That was my first attempt. This is HMS Neptune. I would like to call her the pride of the fleet, but with the sagging rigging, I'm not so sure. But yeah, that's HMS Ripon, 90-odd guns, second rate, and she's the admiral's flying his pennant on the rear, as you can see. So he's in command, and we'll go over to the French 80 gun. That's HMS. Sorry, that's the French Formidable, or Formidable, I take it. 80 guns. We've got the Mont Blanc hidden away in there, 74 guns. And the frigate, which always, do you know what? I've even just looked at it and it's gone out of my head. Every time I try and explain the name of this frigate, I forget. It's French. It's a French frigate of around 30 guns anyway. Now she has got the brass sails. I don't know if you can see, if I go around, slight difference. You curve those yourself. I've done mine over a paintbrush. Obviously not one of these triangle brushes, but a rounded one. And this one's got the extra, it's, I can't remember what sail set they call this now, but it's she's flying along anyway, as you can see. So guys, I just wanted to thank Andy very, very much for sending those out of the blue to me. It really is appreciated, and it will give me a good boost to, you know, increase the fleet. I have got another British 74 which got as far as getting onto the table, still in the packaging. She's going to be Colossus, and I've got a 64 gun named ship, HMS Agamemnon. Sometimes Langtons, you can sell you a named ship. I take it because they look exactly like the ship they portray. I mean, all these, the names I've given these ships, apart from Neptune at the back, which is again a named ship from Langtons, these are all, you know, the ones I've just done research on, but they come from different eras of the Napoleonic Wars, like the Ripon and the Cambrian, I believe around 1810, 1812, whereas the little cutter Sandwich there is in the late 1790s, and the same as the French ships. So what I intend to do is, if I actually say, when I finally get a game in and say, you know, these are going to be, it's the years 1800, say, I will cast around and find ships of that era to put names to them. I am going to mount these on magnetic bases, which I hope to do in the next couple of weeks. And then crack on, really. As you can see now, I've got a lot more ships to do, although I still have to get a couple of French ones yet, just to bolster up those sides. And once I've done all the British, I'll then go on to some Spanish. So guys, thank you very much, Andy. And in one sense, to all the guys out there, all those unsung heroes that send stuff around to people, give them a helping hand. You know, they don't do it for any alternative motive. You know what I mean? It's just helping guys out in the hobby. So thanks to everybody that does that. You keep everything going, and it's a bit like the heartbeat of the hobby, really. So take care of yourselves, guys, and I shall speak to you on another video. Cheers.